Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes, Week 17 NFL Overreactions. I, of course, am the perfect one, AJ. Joining me, as always, the man with the numbers, the sportsbook whisperer, college basketball guru, daddy of the diamond, all hail the king of the links, Mr. Noah Engelbretson. Noah, you gotta be hyped after the performance your Packers just put up, and you gotta be hyped, especially going into Week 18 with the playoffs essentially now. Like, all playoff hopes run through Lambeau for the NFC North.
No. Well, maybe.
Kind
Kind
of.
of. I don't know. What do you mean by that? Um, you mean the last wild card spot runs through Lambeau?
I guess that's a better thing. The wild card runs through Lambeau. You got to be feeling
Potentially.
good. Potentially.
Depending on the outcome of the Seahawks and Rams game.
We're in the fucking confusing time of the year. God damn it. I always forget about this time of year where you never really know who's going to make it in unless, you're Steve Kornacki. Shout out to him, though, coming on every Sunday night, letting me know what's going on.
I'll go ahead and clarify that. Packers win, they're in. Lions beat the Packers. They need the Seahawks to lose. The Seahawks win. They play earlier in the day. They need the Lions to beat the Packers to get in. So, we'll see. Seahawks lose in the afternoon slate. Then that Sunday night game between the Packers Lions is for the last playoff spot. Seahawks win. It's between the Packers and the Seahawks. I don't know. Whatever. You got that.
Hey,
All I care about is Packers win. They're in. I don't care. Team of Destiny winning the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, shit. I know we'll get more into that, Noah. Before we continue on, we do just got to brief shout out, brief talk about the story that's really rocked the NFL world and the sports world in general. Damar Hamlin, obviously suffering that horrendous, I don't even know if you want to call it injury, just event, where his heart was stopped and he had to be revived on the field. And he is now at a hospital. His uncle, as of about an hour and a half ago, coming out with a statement saying he is on a ventilator. He is doing a lot better than he was. They're still in the process of recovery. Obvious, thoughts and prayers to the family, to him, to everybody, that Bills organization, and the Bengals organization, and everyone in the NFL. We watch this game every single week. We talk about it every single day, Noah, and it's one of these moments where we got to remember, at the end of the day, we might not be happy with how a contract is. We might not be happy with a player's performance, but at the end of the day, they are a person, and they understand the risk that they are taking, and they get paid handsomely to do so, and they understand what they're going through and what they're putting at risk. And so to all the NFL players, thank you. To Damar, good luck, God bless, and speedy recovery. Noah, you have anything to say?
Yeah, I mean, it was just scary sight.
Yeah.
Scary sight. Fuck the NFL for coming out and telling them, hey, you got 5 minutes to warm up before we resume play. Obviously, shout.
They did refute that, saying it did not. That was not them.
I don't buy that for a fucking second. This is the beauty of us being a transparent podcast here, AJ. Instead of being on the ESPN networks or whatever, we don't have to.
No,
we don't have to pretend like that's bullshit, because it is bullshit.
Yeah,
That's clearly what was said, what was communicated, and then Sean McDermott and Zach Taylor, there, two coaches, obviously meeting up. Also, not just them, the players clearly not moving an inch. All just standing there on the sidelines. Yeah. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? 5 minutes. Yeah, warm up for 5 minutes and we're going to resume the game, which I fully believe came straight down from the NFL office.
We'll never know.
And
we'll never know.
They're clearly they're denying it. They're denying it. Whatever. That's fine. It may or may not have. I can't speak for sure. But yeah, I mean, after that sort of incident happening on the field, you're not resuming the game that night.
No.
And they're not resuming it tonight. They're not resuming it the next night. That's fine. They're not playing it this week. That's how it should be. I mean, the number one concern is Damar Hamlin's health.
Yeah.
And it's traumatic for all the players on the field too, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean that's not just a one-person event. That is that's not just a person. That's a teammate. That's a family member. That's someone you're around all the time. That's someone you deeply care about. And yeah, I mean, the faces of the Bills players really say it all. And
well, and the Bengals, I
yeah,
mean, some of them too. Like, yeah.
not good.
Anyways,
Not good.
yeah. Hopefully, Damar Hamlin. Hopefully we see him back in the game at some point.
Hopefully, we see him
If
walking
not,
it soon.
yeah, yeah. I mean, very, very, very serious thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
yeah.
on that note, Noah.
I hope him and his family are doing all right. Uh, Completely agree with the decision to not resume the game that night, not to resume it even this week. That's totally the right decision. Um, if you're looking at it from a football standpoint, both teams are already in the playoffs. I
Yeah.
mean, I know there's like some
Seating.
seeding differences on the line, but I don't think either team really fucking cares about the seeding differences at that point when you got that sort of situation going on.
No.
Um, I don't know, and we can get into it at a later date. What do we do? Just call it a tie, do whatever. It doesn't really matter. Maybe I don't know. In my mind, if you're looking at it from a football standpoint, nullify the game. Maybe
Yeah.
go based on winning percentage. I know there's going to be some fans that are going to be pissed off about that because they maybe don't win the division because of winning percentage because of that. I don't know. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Um,
Doesn't
the
matter.
biggest thing here is somebody's life on the line, and you know what? We've. I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to draw attention to them because they don't deserve any more attention than they're getting. But some people have made some insensitive comments about this and takes on this. We're not going to do that here. I think the coolest thing though is the amount of people that have come together in the NFL community to
Absolutely.
donate to Damar's charity.
Yeah.
I believe we're getting near $4 million
Mm-hmm.
donated to that. That's really cool. If you got the means to do so, make sure you do your due diligence. Find the right one
Yeah, make sure it's not
because
some fucking scam. You know, there's a bunch of pricks out there right now setting those
yeah,
motherfuckers up.
but I think that's really cool. I'm a big fan of that. Um,
I do too.
yeah,
And just to wrap it up one more time, thoughts and prayers out to his family, to him. Get well soon, Damar. Shows with you. Shows with you. Now, Noah, moving on. What seems like it doesn't even matter anymore, but hey, it's still our sport. It's something we love. It's something that we're going to continue to follow. Let's talk about the NFL Week 17. A lot of games that really mattered, a lot of games that really didn't, and you saw that. You saw that. And that kind of started on Thursday night with Cowboys and the Titans. Cowboys not really playing anybody worth noting. They take the L at home, 27-13. Dak Prescott has a fine night. CD Lamb has a solid night, another 100-yard night for him. I don't know though, Noah. We can talk about the Titans all we want and where they need to go from here, but with playoffs right around the corner, there is still something about there's something about this Cowboys team I'm starting to get scared about. And I'm not really sure if I can't really pinpoint what it is. I don't know if it's Mike McCarthy. I don't know if it's Dak Prescott. I don't know if it's the way the defense is playing right now, and the defense is playing lights out. But there is something about the Cowboys that concern me about a playoff team going further.
yeah. I mean, Mike McCarthy concerns me.
He's got to concern everyone in that fucking building right now. I mean,
I had to live with that for how many seasons? Yeah, that's a concern always, but this defense is legit. This offense can put up points. Dallas seems, and take this from me, somebody who's routinely shit on Dallas every time they've gotten into the playoffs, saying they're going to be an easy exit. I think they have a good team. this year. I think they have a good team. I don't know if it's Super Bowl caliber, but it's good.
It's very good.
I
It's
mean, they're
very
gonna
good.
march. They're gonna march into Tampa Bay and they're gonna get their revenge. Lost earlier this season, first game of the season, 13-9. Tampa Bay wins that game. Tampa Bay fucking sucks.
Tampa Bay's bad.
And Dallas is going to go in there and they're going to beat them by 15, 20, 25 points, something like that. Maybe Brady retires. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Who the fuck cares? We should stop entertaining that narrative. Just let him do whatever the fuck he wants. He's now posting pictures of his kid, his like grown ass teenage kid with his legs between his legs on a pool chair.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw that, AJ.
I have not, but I really don't want to look it up. Jesus
Distur-
Christ.
Disturbing.
Ugh.
Yeah, Tom Brady's Instagram stories are going off the rails. Disgusting. Like, shut this man down. And then you look at the Titans, which, like, I'm not surprised at the outcome of this game. We talked about this last week, coming into this week. This game's redundant for the Titans.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, which is why they fucking play Josh Dobbs at quarterback. Josh Dobbs at quarterback, Hassan Haskins at running back. Surprisingly, they kept it to a 14-point game.
Yeah. I mean, hey, shout out there, honestly.
This was
And I think that's
literally
what concerns me.
the Titans literally benched. I mean, I know there's a lot of injuries, right? So they're not. That wasn't like they actually benched them, but there were people that could have played that the Titans just kept out because they know this game doesn't matter.
No, fair.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter for seeding. Doesn't matter for the division. They lose this game, and we covered this going into the week, right, AJ?
Yeah, no,
That this
I know.
game didn't matter for the Titans because all they got to do is beat Jacksonville next week, and Jacksonville got a win. Good for them, but like, I guess the Titans could have clinched with the win over the Cowboys and a Jacksonville loss.
But not even that. No,
But
I mean, go ahead. Finish your thing on Titans.
I'm just saying this game didn't matter, which is why they didn't play Malik Willis. I mean, they didn't play Tannehill. They played Josh Dobbs at quarterback. They had a rookie, Hassan Haskins, at running back. The Titans are as banged up as any other team, but like, this was a complete, like, we're going to rest people to beat Jacksonville next week. They're still going to make the playoffs. I'm not worried.
Fair. I don't know. Jacksonville's putting up fight. They're the hottest team in the NFL right now. We'll get to them.
They're playing a team off a bye week.
True. Fair enough. Let's get to all right. Let's just get it over with. Cardinals, Falcons. Didn't watch it. Didn't care. The Cardinals are dead. I have been asked.
Terrible game.
Yeah, just god awful. I mean, 19-20 off a coup, last second field goal. I've been asked multiple times in the last weeks, leading up to the end of the season here, AJ, why do you still wear that Cardinals hoodie if you have nothing nice to say about the team? Which I don't, because I think the entire organization right now is trash. We are a losing organization. We'll continue to be a losing organization. But they're my team. They're my team, okay? They could walk out there tomorrow and name Kyler Murray part owner and president of football operations, and I would still root for this team. I would be pissed, and I would come on here every single day and talk about how pissed I am, but I would still root for the team. Good for the Falcons picking up the win. Thank you for improving our draft stock. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I didn't watch a lick of this game. I was tracking the score, and it was going back and forth a lot, but
that's what happens when you have 2 third-string quarterbacks in.
Unimportant game. Neither team's making a playoff spot. Doesn't really matter.
No, doesn't matter. Game that also, I mean, this was easy money. Bears-Lions. Bears 10, Lions 41. Bears stink. We're 3-13. Thank God we might get a good draft pick. If we don't fuck that up somehow, I bet we will. I bet the Bears will figure out a way to fuck up a good draft pick. Lions coming away with the victory. They send it to Green Bay with their playoff hopes, as we talked about earlier, along with needing a Seattle loss to get in. Their Lions are, I can't say what I can't say anything more about them. They're the Lions. They're the new Lions. I am beyond excited for this game in Green Bay. We'll talk about it on our degenerate bets later this week on our picks, but I'm just excited for the game, and I think there's going to be a lot of points. And this is the new Lions team. Congratulations to Detroit. You guys might actually got a squad.
Yeah, I mean, great season for the Lions. They've been
Great.
exciting. At the very least, they've been very exciting to watch. No other fan base, as far as I'm aware, is cheering against them.
No,
I mean,
except Seattle.
uh, well, I wouldn't put it past the Vikings cheering against the Lions this season just because, they're sour. But I was talking about the season as a whole. I don't know that any specific fan base. I know as a Packers fan base, we're like almost like somehow like rooting for them as younger brother. Not this upcoming week, obviously, but it's been a weird like, oh, you've been so bad for so long. Like we're just happy you're beating the Bears and the Vikings now. um, yeah, I think it's funny too. AJ, the Packers Lions game getting flexed to the night slot, Sunday night. And there's a bunch of Seattle fans bitching about the fact that this is unfair because their game determines whether or not the Lions are going to be trying.
Okay, so
Because if they win, then the Lions are eliminated from the playoffs. And then if the Packers beat the Lions, because the Lions aren't going to try then. And I say bullshit. You know who's coaching this fucking Lions team?
Dan fucking Campbell. Gnaw your
Exactly.
kneecaps off, brother.
If the Lions were 2-14, they would be trying their fucking damned hardest in this game. So if you're a Seattle fan and you're complaining about the Packers Lions game getting flexed this Sunday night, you can shut the fuck up because you know damn well Dan Campbell does not care. He doesn't care. If you win and the Lions are eliminated from playoff contention, Dan Campbell doesn't care. He's probably not paying a shit, like not even paying a penny attention to the Seattle game earlier this. He's probably going to force his players not to watch the Seattle game so that they're competing harder, not knowing that they're
Not knowing,
completely
brother.
eliminated from the playoffs. Um, yeah. So if you're a Seattle fan and you're complaining about that, shut the fuck up. You're wrong because Dan, and I say this as a Packers fan, Dan Campbell does not care. Dan Campbell
No.
will try to win at all costs.
Yes, and that's got to be frustrating as a Packers fan because, well, I guess you guys would be in either way then, but still, damn.
Oh, we got. Oh, we're expecting a fucking fight from the
You're
Lions.
going to. You're going to.
And if our coaches are not prepared, they're fucking foolish because it's Dan Campbell. He does not care.
No, he doesn't. And a team that also shouldn't care, Noah, but somehow walked away, like somehow kept the game within 3 points. Broncos Chiefs. Broncos keep it close in Kansas City. Um, I gotta say it, Noah. I gotta say it. Um, and if it's not
Bathrooms.
been blatantly obvious throughout this entire year, this entire podcast, fuck you, Russell Wilson. Just in general, I don't know if you saw his press conference afterwards, Noah, but the fact that
Oh,
he
I
had,
didn't.
no, well, if you want to, it's a beautiful piece.
Was it overly positive?
No, no, it was overly dramatic, bro. Like he's coming out saying how much it meant to him that his teammates came out and stuck up for him and blah 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 blah. Your teammates shouldn't have to do that. If you're a quarterback in the NFL and you're, come out as this positive guy, this, quoting everything and its mother and, running fucking huddles and 2-minute drills by yourself with no one on the fucking field, and you have to pray that some teammate comes out and defends you and says, yeah, we got Russ's back. I mean, bro, that should be without saying. And so the fact that he cared so much about that, the fact that we question his leadership and everything like that, I think says enough about Russell Wilson. And the fake crying didn't help me at all this weekend. Russell Wilson, fuck off, fuck you. Leave the fake shit at home and try being a real person. And hey, maybe you might be a real quarterback. Who fucking knows? Are you worried about the Chiefs? No, I'm not worried about the Chiefs whatsoever. They're just doing same old Chief shit like they do every year.
No. No.
No, no, can't be.
Sorry, I double check my notes and I read them and it's Chiefs are the best football team in the league.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. I keep forgetting that sometimes. Terrible team to
so
bet on, but greatest football team in the league.
yeah, and as you've stated multiple times, AJ, the Chiefs love to win. They hate to cover. Another instance of that. But yeah, I checked my notes even from the beginning of the year. Um, eh, remember how this division was a big old
Oh, it was a whole
debate at
thing.
the beginning of the year, and I was like, I think word for word, I said, this is the Chiefs division until they lose it.
Yeah, and
Clearly, clearly was not wrong about that. I take pride in that take. Just got to rub that one in a little bit. I don't, I know you were on the Chargers. Not that you were down on the Chiefs this year,
no, not down at all.
like a number of analysts were around the NFL that were like, oh, the Chiefs might finish third in this division. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, the Chiefs have the biggest stranglehold on this division ever because the Chargers are gonna do Charger things. The Raiders are gonna do Raiders things. The Broncos just suck. Um, which is kind of what I said, but probably in nicer terms at the beginning of the season.
Well, yeah, because we just assumed Russell sucked. We didn't think the whole team would suffer that bad.
Uh, True, and I thought the Raiders were going to do a lot better.
Oh, everyone
And
did. We all were on the Raiders train at that point, especially with Devontae coming in. But now they're
yeah, I'm
quarterback-less, or Jared Stidham's the guy.
well, yeah, and I mean, the Chargers are about where I thought they would be. Chiefs are about where I thought they would be. So, um, like I said at the beginning of the season, this is the Chiefs division until they lose this division, and I am not going to waver away from them until some other team proves they can win this division.
I agree with you. You can't really count them out anymore. They're the guys. They're the guys. It runs through them.
And
Noah,
I love that you're saying you can't count them out anymore because people have tried to do that the last 2 years and like why why
it never made sense to me. It's like, okay, they still have Patrick
and,
Mahomes, right?
and
Yeah. They still
Andy
have,
Andy Reid,
yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, like
They added
you got
MVS. They added
be enemy
fucking
calling the
the enemy
offense.
calling plays. Jesus. Like it would be different if they traded away all their players one year, or everyone's contract ran up and they couldn't re-sign anyone. But that hasn't happened. Yes, they've lost a few key players because
Yeah,
they just got offered dumb money. You got to go make that money while you can. You got a very short window, and so the Chiefs are going to be doing Chief things, as you said. The Chiefs are going. This is not the AFC West anymore. It is the Chiefs division from here on. From here
well
on,
well they're gonna win 12 to 14 games a year.
easy.
That's that's the reality of it. As long as you got Travis Kelsey in his prime right now, despite being over 30 years old, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, all the weapons they have a better offensive line this year than they had last year. Um, as long as they keep this going, they're going to win 12 to 14 games a year. So if anybody wants to contest them for the division, they're also going to have to be able to win 12 to 14 games a year. And
And that means you
the
got to split
Charger
with the Chiefs.
the Chargers are close, but they're not there. They're not there.
Maybe
They're
stay
they're
healthy.
they're getting there, but they're not there yet. The Raiders took a step backwards in my mind this year with all the fucking shit that's going on. Don't even get me started on that. And the Broncos suck. So like, it doesn't matter. The Chiefs division, Chiefs conference, it remains that. And people get excited by the shiny new toys, but they forget Old Faithful. And for 6, 7 years in a row, the Chiefs has been one of the top two teams in the AFC. It's going to continue.
You can't
I'm
keep it.
sorry to break it to you people who don't want to see that. Any AFC West fans who are not Chiefs fans. Yeah, they're one of the top two teams in the AFC West every single year now. 6, 7 years straight. It's going to continue. It's going to continue for another 5, 10 years. So get used to it.
Sorry about it, but it's gonna be a thing. Um, Dolphins, Patriots. My only real takeaway from this game, Noah, was the Dolphins suck without Tua.
I mean, they kind of suck with Tua. I mean,
Yeah.
they're fucking 5-game losing streak.
Fair enough. 21-23. Patriots take this one. Um, I mean, Patriots are technically in the wild card. Dolphins on the bubble. Lots got to happen this weekend. I think the Patriots walk away with this, though. I think the Patriots are in the playoffs at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Dolphins got to play the Jets next week. Patriots have to play the Bills. Not a fun one for either of them. I mean, is there anybody contesting that other than the two of them for the? Oh yeah, oh yeah. You got this fun little team called the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, Mike.
Fucking Mike Tomlin. He's the GOAT, dude.
I kind of forgot about them. You got Mike Tomlin and the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers sitting there waiting to bounce. They're at 8-8. They play the Browns next week. Miami's at 8-8. They play the Jets, who are eliminated from playoff contention right now. New England plays Buffalo, who's definitely maybe, but depending on what happens with whatever we're doing here, potentially playing for a number one seed in the conference. Yeah, those were a lot of hypothetical terms thrown out because there's a lot of hypotheticals still. Yeah, Chargers are in. Baltimore's in. And yeah, so if New England and Miami both lose and Pittsburgh beats the Browns, then the Steelers are in the playoffs. So, oh boy,
yeah, we got some shit going on, Noah. We got some shit going on.
Well, I should say, okay, so Pittsburgh lost to New England and Miami this year. So the Steelers would need the Dolphins and Patriots both to lose combined with a win to make it in.
Which, I mean...
Very possible.
Tomlin? Jesus, that's awesome. Shout out to the Steelers. We'll get into them more in a little bit.
Well, the Steelers may or may not make the playoffs, but Mike Tomlin's going to beat the Browns because he's not going under 5. He's not going under 500.
No shot. No shot.
Worst case scenario, he ties him, but he's not losing to him because he ain't going under 500. He hasn't done it in 15 seasons. He's not going to do it in season 16. Tomlin's going to finish with a 9-8 record. We know it. We know it's true.
So if Tomlin does it, and he did it with 3 different quarterbacks, he's done it through a slew of injuries to his best defensive player in TJ Watt. If he comes back and he is, 500, over 500 for the 16th straight season in the row, I mean, we got to start putting him, I think, in a Belichick conversation.
Separate conversations.
Fair. Separate conversations.
Belichick won 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah, that he did. He's pretty good at winning Super Bowls.
Tomlin.
He's got 2.
What? Yeah, I think he won 2, been to 3.
Yeah, he won 1 with Big Ben, went to another with Big Ben, and then he won with the quarterback before Ben, right?
Yeah, beat Seattle, beat Arizona, lost to the Packers.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Noah. That's why
so
I'm with the numbers.
Yeah, he's 2 for 3. Never had a losing. The never had a losing season is the impressive part.
That's beyond. That's unbelievable. But shout out Tomlin. We'll talk about you in a little bit.
We'll see. He's got to win next week, but he wins next week. He's 16 years as an NFL head coach. Never a losing season. That is Hall of Fame worthy.
Easy.
Well, and he's won. He's also won 2 Super Bowls. So, obviously he's going to make the Hall of Fame.
With 2 different quarterbacks he's unbelievable.
Question will be, There's been rumors that he's been dabbling with the retirement options. Does he do that, or does he feel new life with Pickett and keep going? I don't know. We'll see.
I don't even know if it's new life with Pickett. I think he kind of sits there and he's like, all right, I can do this with this quarterback. I mean, let's go ahead. Let's strap it on for 4 years, go into a mini rebuild. And I don't think it needs to be a full rebuild. I think it needs to be a nice mini rebuild, get some younger weapons around the kid, and let the thing fly. I mean, God, I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. Out of all the coaches, I think that might step away from football this year, he's not one of them. Cliff Kingsbury, please do us all a favor.
Tomlin's young, though. Like, that's the thing. like he's too young to retire. It feels like. I mean, not saying that he's
You never
can't
know, there might be
retire.
a cozy booth job ready for him.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, the dude's probably a fucking genius with the
Probably.
fact that he's been able to, with what he's been able to do with so little
And the fact
for
that
so
he
many
doesn't,
seasons.
like, he doesn't sit down and do a lot of interviews and stuff like that. Giving him an open mic for 3 hours during a football game, thank you very much. I need that on my TV ASAP.
Nobody's gonna know what he's saying.
I think that'll be the best part. Like, I think that'll almost
This
be the running joke.
this dude uses some vernacular that's like outside of this
Awesome.
world.
It's awesome. I need him with a headset, bro, up in the booth.
No, like if you've listened to Mike Tomlin in interviews, like this dude has read through the Merriam-Webster's dictionary like 3 times. He's just like spewing out words that make no sense to anybody that like kind of makes sense, but like it's like what? Sorry, what?
Oh, please put him in a booth with Chris Collinsworth to wipe that smug look off his fucking face. He'd do some good humbling. Same with his fucking son, Jack. Shout out to Jack for being the definition of nepotism, by the way.
I'm just okay. Yeah, I'm just saying. Mike Tomlin's got some A+ vernacular that
Oh,
he
yeah.
uses in his speeches, like or talking to the media, whatever it is. Dude just starts spewing out words, like big ass words, which sucks for like 20 to 30% of the NFL fan base because they're not really understanding what he's saying, but you know
I know. I know. Um,
that's
hey,
what Google's for.
shoot, true. Shout out Google. Thank God Google exists. Um, Speaking of Google and a coach who will definitely be Googling the fastest way back to ESPN, Jeff Saturday and the Colts get the shit kicked out of them by the New York Giants, 38-10. Um, Giants, they're doing playoff things. They're trying to keep contending, getting in there. Are they in already? Yeah, they clinched, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yep, they
yeah, and
clinched. My bad.
they got that 6 lockdown.
That 6 is locked and loaded for the Giants. Oh, that'll be a fun week up one matchup. Who should they be playing? They should be playing the Niners, right?
Viking.
No, the
No,
Vikings.
Vikings
My bad.
most likely.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. The two
Unless
mediocre teams like ever.
unless the Vikings win and the Niners lose, they'll be playing the Vikings, a rematch of like a week or two ago.
Not bad. I got really nothing to say about the game. The Colts suck.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They're so bad. So bad.
They're
Jeff
terrible.
Saturday ain't the fucking answer. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Although I do agree with him on his comments, Kayvon Thibodeau
What do you say? I missed
doing
that.
his. Did you not see Nick Foles getting injured, down like writhing in pain?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and Kayvon Thibodeau sitting there doing snow angels, whacking him with his arm every time he's swinging out, while Nick Foles is like severely injured. And then Kayvon Thibodeau, as the medical staff is on, like carting Nick Foles off or doing whatever fuck else, he goes over to the sideline and does the like night celebration to the sideline. So I do agree with Jeff Saturday, and Jeff Saturday is not going to be a long-term coach in this league, so he can say whatever the fuck he wants, and I'm glad he did because he called Kayvon Thibodeau like, tasteless, and I forget what words he used, but they were accurate. That was terrible. Like, have some fucking awareness of your surroundings. There's a guy literally like needing medical help to get off the field, and you're doing fucking snow angels on
Seriously.
an indoor stadium. You're doing snow angels and whacking him with your arm while he's like writhing in pain on the ground. Like, fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed nice guy, Kayvon Thibodeau too. Like,
Not very nice. Not very nice.
yeah, trashy move, as Jeff Saturday said. I agree with it.
100%.
I don't know that it was entirely intentional, but either way, like, have some fucking awareness for your surroundings and like, yeah.
Yeah, no room for it in the league, especially, of the events following. Moving on, Noah. This team needs their quarterback back like Meth Head needs a hit. I mean, Jesus Christ. Eagles taking an L to the Saints 20-10. Obviously, the Eagles are fine. Jalen Hurts will be back. They'll, it will be like they didn't miss a beat. They'll be playoff contenders for sure. Super Bowl contenders for sure.
Will they?
I think
Will
so.
they?
I don't know. I'm getting scared.
Is
I
Jalen Hurts? I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but like, I've got some speculation that Jalen Hurts' shoulder injury might be more than we're making it out to be.
I
Just a thought, just a personal thought from me. I may be completely off base on that, but he's missed 2 weeks with a minor shoulder injury.
but they
If
have
he
they have it locked up. Give him an extra
no,
couple. What do you mean? They clinched in. They're in the
they
playoffs. They're fighting for one right now.
playoffs, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have the 1 seed clinched up though.
No, I understand that, Noah, and don't get me wrong, it'd be nice to have the one seed, but if they need to, fall down the playoff board a little bit and make sure their quarterback's healthy, I mean, I think you got to go with that.
No, what I'm saying is because they don't have the 1 seed clinched now because they've lost 2 in a row. If Jalen Hurts isn't playing this week, it's serious. It's serious.
True. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's a big deal.
I get the last 2 weeks, and you're hoping Gardner Minshew can like
Rip off a
clinch
win.
you up that 1 seed, and you got fucking Washington this week. Washington or New York? I can't remember which one of those NFC Beast teams plays the other ones, but
Eagles of the Giants.
Giants. Yeah, which the Giants have nothing to play for. They're locked into the 6th seed at this point. But if Jalen Hurts isn't starting, because this division out of almost any other is going to be as petty as possible to each other. And even if they have nothing to play for, this is the one division that will still play as hard as they fucking can. Because they hate each other more than any other division hates each other. NFC or AFC North, close call. Close call to the NFC East here. But these teams fucking hate each other. They're gonna be trying their damn hardest. And I think if Jalen Hurts doesn't play this week, that is a big, big, big sign, because we got the simultaneous games going on. So Eagles don't know what'll happen. All they need is a win to clinch the number 1 overall seed in the bye week. If Hurts isn't playing, be concerned. Be concerned, Eagles fans, because I think I have a hunch that this injury is way worse than the Eagles are telling the public.
Well, we'll have to wait for that injury report to come out. It'll be interesting. And if Gardner Minshew can pull off the win, or they believe he can, and it's just to rest him, I mean, fine. But you're right, Noah. I don't know if it's worth risking the number 1 spot like you've already done. Hopefully this is the last week for those Eagles fans. We'll find out. Shit.
And if they don't play Jalen Hurts and they get the number 1 spot, you got 3 weeks without him and a bye week. That's he won't have played in over a month.
Yeah. then yeah,
going
that's a
into a
big
home
deal.
game. Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. We'll find out. We'll find out, Noah. That's what we're here for. Game I definitely didn't watch. Watch the highlights whenever there were some. But Panthers Buccaneers 24-30. Um, I mean, Brady clinched with the Bucks. They're 8-8, and they clinched a playoff. I mean, fucking A, dude. This is rough to watch. This has been some rough football to watch from Tom Brady this year and this Buccaneers team. And it's continuing to be just an absolute and utter shit show. Panthers might be hot right now, 24-30. Yeah, they're playing the Panthers close right now this late in the season. Look for an early, and I mean a nice early, like quarter 1 exit for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers from the playoffs. I mean, they don't look good. As much as I want to believe in Brady playoff magic nowadays, it's getting harder and harder when he's making these games that should be a walk in the park, like just comparing teams on paper. And he just doesn't have it anymore. I don't know if he doesn't have it, if the team is just that bad and he can't will it to a win like he used to. But I don't think this is his curtain call whatsoever. I do think he'll be back next season. I don't think it'll be in a Buccaneers uniform, but I think he'll be back next season.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak on whether or not he'll be back. If he is, he's going to look just as shitty. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I mean, like, what do you want, a round of applause for beating the fucking Panthers by 6 at home? At home? In a game where you were down in the third quarter? Like, this team is disgusting. They're bad. They've gotten worse as the season has gone on. They're going to play. Dallas is going to go into Tampa Bay in the first round of the playoffs. Tampa Bay is going to somehow make it like a 7-10 point game, somewhat down to the wire, which is terrible because Dallas should beat them by like 30 points. Or maybe we'll see Dallas beat him by 30 points. I don't know. Whatever. Either way, doesn't matter.
No.
Tampa Bay clinched the division. Tom Brady clinched his 19th division title. And they could lose their next game and have a losing record, and he could still, whatever. Like, why are we celebrating that? Shut the fuck up, ESPN. Get off Tom Brady's dick.
Seriously.
Nobody fucking cares.
I'm a Tom Brady fan, and it's been fucking annoying. Like, Jesus Christ, he's not playing good.
He is finally past his prime. Maybe. I mean, he's still putting up numbers, but that's just the nature of the Bucs offense. The team fucking sucks. That's the biggest thing. The team fucking sucks. So, it doesn't matter. They're not going anywhere in the playoffs. They're a joke. This division's a joke. So, yeah. That's all I got to say.
Fair enough, Noah. Browns, Commanders. Browns walking away with this one, 24-10. Ron Rivera with arguably the worst coaching decision of the season.
He's fired.
I think he was trying to get fired. I think he's just done with this organization, and he tried to get fired. Because in his press conference, he said he had no idea that this was, to stay in playoff contention, that they would be eliminated if they lost. I mean, he definitely knew. You're telling me he didn't know, and that's why he thought Carson Wentz was really going to give him their best chance to win that football game? I can't remember the last time a football coach was like, shit,
they weren't.
I want to put Carson Wentz in.
They weren't eliminated from the loss.
I thought they were.
No, after they lost and then the Packers won, then they got eliminated.
My bad.
But the loss didn't eliminate them.
Fine, fair enough. But still, Ron Rivera has got to be trying to get fired because, like I said, I don't know a head coach that would be like, damn, I really wish Carson Wentz was in right now.
Yeah, and I said it last week, AJ. Did I not?
Yeah.
That I believe I said the benching of Taylor Heineke for Carson Wentz was going to be the death curse for Washington. And I was so happy about it as a Packers fan because we needed Cleveland to beat Washington. And Carson Wentz, put up a nice 16 of 28, 143, and 3 interceptions. So I'm ecstatic with the outcome. I fully predicted that. Taylor Heineke probably would have found a way to win this game, but
Yeah.
you know what? Ron Rivera is going to get fired, and if Taylor Heineke stays on the Washington roster and you're a future Washington Commanders coach, um, there is literally a curse in the air if you do not play Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, you got to play Heineke. You got to play
You,
Heineke, or you're gonna lose.
you you might only be a game or two over 500 if you play in Heineke, but like if you don't play Heineke, you're fucked.
He's just
You're
done.
fucked.
He's
That's
done.
that's
It's already
just
a
what
done
happens.
season.
It's the tail of the tape. You have to play Heineke and see what happens with the season, because if you play any other quarterback, you will lose almost every single game.
Almost every single game. It's unbelievable.
It's just a given. It's just a given. You got to play Heineke if you're the Washington Commanders, because this dude has done nothing wrong to this franchise and keeps getting benched, and it's a curse now. It's a curse now.
I hope he goes somewhere like, to be happy, like the Panthers. But
No. He needs to keep playing for Washington. Because he will continuously have more success than whatever quarterback they bench him for or put in over him. And then he's either going to be starting, get benched, it's going to take a turn for the worse, or it's going to be a bad season. He's going to take over, and it's going to be a turn for the best. I mean, damn, just put him in for the whole season. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Maybe they'll take your advice next year, but I don't know if they still have Carson Wentz's huge-ass contract.
No, because I'm telling you, it's the Heineke curse.
It's the Heineke curse.
Either a terrible start and he takes over for somebody else that they overpay in the offseason, or he starts and then they bench him and then they tank like they did this year.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. We'll see what happens there. Jaguars Texans, Noah, 31-3 Jaguars in a barn burner. I fucking told y'all. Y'all. Give him some fucking time. Let the kid develop. Get him a good head coach that's not fucking sticking his fingers up women's asses. Okay? Give him a Doug Peterson who knows how to develop a quarterback. Give him a good head coach. Give him weapons. Let him develop. And here we are, and the Jaguars are fucking around and are probably... Did they clinch already? No, they're in the hunt still, right? No, they're in the hunt for for playoff berth. The Jaguars are killing it.
We've talked about it. We've talked about AJ. How the Titans game was redundant.
You're right. They got to win this week.
Because regardless of what Jacksonville did this week, the Titans, regardless of what Jacksonville did this week, and regardless of what the Titans did this week, this game was still good, or this division was still going to come down to whoever won this one, which was a beauty. Yes. The fact that we had two meaningless games for two division opponents who are going to be playing for the division in week 18, but it was two meaningless games in week 17. Jacksonville didn't need to beat the Texans.
It's nice.
They did. The Titans didn't need to beat Dallas, and they got their asses whooped. But they also were playing third string positions at most of the things. So honestly, that's going to be a big one to look forward to next week, because I think advantage Titans with playing a bunch of third string players, resting guys who are a little banged up. Smart decision for them, I would say. Jags are a young team. They're not focused on that. They're like, we got to win. We're going to win. We're going to, they blew out the Texans. I don't have much else to say about that game. The Texans suck.
Yeah, the Texans suck. Texans are bad at football. But yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for the game now. I'm excited for the game, and we'll cover that on Degenerate Bets later this week. 49ers Raiders. 49ers in OT 37-34. Jared Stidham, putting up some numbers, putting up a nice performance against a very stout 49ers team.
Devontae Adams.
Woo, I know he loves Derek Carr, Noah, but Jesus Christ, he's got to be boys with Stidham now.
Not even. No. Here's the thing. If you needed proof for who is the number one receiver in the entire NFL, and I know it's been debated. It's been debated. You got 4 or 5 names you could throw out there, maybe 6, 7, depending on who you're talking to. If you needed proof, look at Devontae Adams' body of work the last couple of weeks. Some of these one-handed reels that he's just pulling in. The fact that Devontae with Jared Stidham in at quarterback put up 7 for 153 and 2 touchdowns. And they've been practicing together for how long? Maybe a week. It doesn't even fucking matter.
Week and a half.
Yeah, I would just like to put it to rest. Obviously, it will never be put to rest because not everybody. There's too many people that are never going to agree. But Devontae Adams is the best receiver, the most talented receiver in the entire NFL.
Hey, I'm with you, and I think the conversation for Justin Jefferson was shut down as the Packers laid a whooping on the Vikings this weekend. I mean, let's jump into it. No, 41-17. Jair Alexander came out and he was like, "Hey, week 1 was a fluke. Week 1 was a fluke." Noah, can you do you remember Justin Jefferson's stat line by chance?
Sunday or
Yeah, Sunday.
week? Oh yeah, one catch for 15 yards.
Oh, yeah. So meaning Jair Alexander essentially said, "Hey, welcome to the island, pal. You're the only one on here, and you ain't fucking leaving. You ain't fucking leaving. I'm your new best friend. I'm following you around. Where you go, I go." They're like that one fucking meme where it's like, how do you guard Steph Curry? And it's the guy guarding him from when Steph wakes up and Steph still scores buckets on him. Except he didn't score jack. He got one fucking catch for 15 goddamn yards. Jair Alexander, shout out. Way to put your money where your mouth is. Way to put your mouth where your abilities are. Hey, you can talk. You can be who you can afford to be. And Jair Alexander right now looking like the best corner in the league.
And let's go back to the week 1 where Justin Jefferson had 9 catches for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns, or 180 something and 2 touchdowns. I don't remember the exact number, but Packers were playing zone the entire game. Jair was hardly on Justin Jefferson because they were playing zone. Jefferson would release over the middle. Jair would break to the outside, playing his zone that he was supposed to play given the called defense, and Jefferson would go off. Right. So, and then you have casual fans who don't realize what a zone defense versus a man defense is, and they're shitting on Jair Alexander, being like, "Oh, you got torched." And it's like, well, no, he really didn't. There were like maybe 2 plays the entire game where Jefferson actually beat Jair Alexander. And the Packers have been playing a lot of zone all season. They're continuing to play zone, a little bit different zone now after the bye week, but they let Jefferson play a lot of man, or they let Jair Alexander play a lot of man on Jefferson, rather, this past week.
Yeah, and it worked.
And Jefferson had a terrible game. He was getting pissed off, throwing his helmet at the sidelines, even when Jair wasn't on him because he didn't follow him the entire time. The biggest thing I noticed was the Packers were jamming him at the line every single fucking time. He couldn't get a release on a route.
No.
And Jefferson is a beautiful, beautiful route runner.
Great route runner. Unbelievable footwork.
But Joe Barry and the Packers defense really fucking figured it out this week. They were just shoving him at the line.
Get physical, bud.
And the refs weren't calling him, so they just continued jamming him at the line. And if it wasn't Jair, it was other cornerbacks. I even saw one time where Preston Smith shoved him over at the line of scrimmage. That was my favorite. Literally gets a linebacker lined up against him. He's probably licking his chops like, "Oh, I'm going to run around on this guy." And then nope, gets pushed off his fucking feet. Meanwhile, Justin Jefferson's getting all pissed off, throwing his helmet multiple times on the sideline.
Hitting a ref at one point.
He's lucky he didn't get called for 15 yards.
I thought he was going to get called. I for sure thought he was getting called on that.
And he clearly didn't mean to hit the ref on that. Like, he didn't know the ref was there. So, like, I'm not obviously we're not trying to paint him as a bad guy.
No, not at all.
But he still did whack a ref on the back of the shoulder with the helmet.
Pretty solid.
and didn't get a penalty call for it. So he's lucky for that, even
Yeah.
though clearly not intentional. He didn't know that ref was there. But
Yeah. Go
yeah,
Pack, go.
watch out for the Packers. That's what, 2 weeks in a row with 3 interceptions.
Yeah. Yeah. And didn't you guys have a special
Um,
teams touchdown?
yeah, we did. And you know what? The week before, I think we had a 94 yard
Oh
kick return for a
yeah, oh yeah,
touchdown.
oh yeah, oh yeah. And this year was
Oh
105. This
man,
week was 105.
man, I think special teams and defense are starting to heat up a little
Oh.
bit, and it's funny. It's funny. It's funny. It's my Packers, so I'm going to continue ranting about this for just another second or two. You got people very split on the Packers right now. You look at the analysts, some of them are like, oh, nobody fucking cares about playing the Packers in the playoffs. That's an easy win. And then you have the other half of the people who are like, this is a team nobody fucking wants to play.
I'm
Um,
firmly in that camp.
uh, yeah, they won 4 straight. They're about to win 5 straight. Gonna beat the Lions, and then a big test will be probably San Francisco in that first round of the playoffs. But if the Packers get past San Francisco in the first round of the playoffs, that's a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a clear walk. It's a clear walk from there. Because the
Because
49ers are the best team in the NFC right now.
well, they've also been the Packers' kryptonite for however many years. So
Yeah,
Packers get past
Shanahan
the
loves
Niners.
fucking with LaFleur.
Packers get past the Niners. They don't give a shit about any other team.
No, not at all. Not at all. And real quick, Noah, let's just touch on this other team that's involved in the whole Lions Packers drama. Jets Seahawks. Seahawks blow the roof off the Jets 6-23 at the 12s. We already told Seattle fans to go fuck themselves one more time just for good measure. Fuck off. And yeah, Geno Smith.
Well, I didn't say that.
I mean, yeah, you did.
No.
That's essentially what you said. I guess I'm summing it up for you. Sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, I mean, Geno's playing great. Shout out to Geno. This Seahawks team, though, they just don't have it, I think, to make it, not only make it to the playoffs, but have a good run in the playoffs. I think their Cinderella story, as opposed to other team Cinderella stories, is going to end this weekend coming up.
Well, they're still going to get a top 5 pick, so.
Yeah, shout out to the Broncos. Shout out to
Don't matter. Don't matter. They're still getting a top 5 pick.
Gotta love it. Last of the late games, Noah, you got Rams Chargers. Chargers did Charger things. They're the team in LA this year. 31-10. Yeah. Rams figure it out next season. Good luck. I think Sean McVay needs to take a look in the mirror, see if he really wants to go through a full rebuild. Matthew Stafford said he's coming back, but let's see what an offseason does to him. Baker, maybe. I think Baker's definitely getting a job somewhere next year. I just don't know where.
It's not going to be with the Rams.
No, probably not, because they're paying Stafford all that money.
No, because Baker's got too big of an ego to take a backup quarterback position, so he's going to try to get a starter position somewhere else. He's gone.
Years. I don't think he has that much of an ego left, or he shouldn't at least.
Oh, he does. He doesn't have that much bargaining power left, but he's got an ego still.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. Very fucking fall on your face in the mud season for the Rams.
This is the worst Super Bowl hangover ever.
Well, it's the worst.
They brought back. Jesus Christ.
It's the worst season ever by any team following a Super Bowl for win percentage wise. You know, obviously we've had a different amount of games in the NFL every year, but win percentage wise, worst season ever by an NFL Super Bowl winner. And I think, this was the whole thing. The Rams, they sold the fuck out for the Super Bowl. They traded away all the draft picks. They got nothing new coming in. They got nothing to trade. They got a bunch of veteran players. I mean, yeah, they were very injured this year. I think they're a little bit better next year, but they're not winning another Super Bowl.
No. They're not. Not with this team.
They're not doing it, and I don't blame them. Worth it. They won a Super Bowl, which is a incredibly hard thing to do. So what? You sold 5-6 years of the future of the team.
So what?
It
Because they're still going to be in the
and
conversation every year because they won a Super Bowl recently. Even next year,
I mean,
we're
they
going to go into
won't.
the
They
post.
won't.
We're going to go into the offseason.
They
And they're
won't.
still going to be contenders in everyone's mind.
They won't. Because they're going to suck.
We'll see. I think the narrative about the Rams is going to be rough season. Matt Stafford was injured a lot. The elbow
narrative,
injury
maybe.
originally was more. That's going to be the narrative, and that's going to be. I promise you, when the books open up, they're going to be the second favorite to walk out of the NFC West. I promise.
The reality, though, is they're going to suck.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing: it doesn't matter.
No, they won a Super
They
Bowl.
sold out. They sold out, and they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. No,
So-
I'd be good with it. If the Cardinals could sell out, but they can't sell out because we've sold everything already.
Which, you look at the NFL compared to the rest of the major sports, the NFL is the hardest sport to win a championship in because one loss and you're fucking done.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? I don't. It doesn't even matter for the Rams. Like they're terrible for the next decade or two. It doesn't matter. They sold out. They won a Super Bowl. And you can ask the fans that too. Like you go to any fan, one Super Bowl will, the happiness from that Super Bowl will carry you a decade or two.
Oh,
like it's
easily.
fine.
I hope I get to
And-
experience
and-
that one day.
Me as a Packers fan, winning in 2010, like I didn't really start getting hungry again until 7-8 years after. So
Yeah, you've been hungry lately. You've been hungry.
yeah, they're hard to win, but it took 7 or 8 years for me to be like, okay, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we not winning another one?
Yeah. No, honestly.
But that happiness as a football team, as a fan of a football team, it lasts so much longer than any other sport because it's so much harder to win. I don't think it matters for the Rams. Chargers on the up and up. They're hot. They're hot. Watch out for them. They're hot.
They are hot. They are hot. They might fuck around. That'd be fun.
You know who else is hot, AJ?
Who?
Mike Tomlin of the
Mike
Pittsburgh
fucking
Steelers.
Tomlin, dude. Okay, Steelers win this one. Obviously, we've talked about it a lot tonight. 16-13, they beat the Ravens at Ravens with Huntley under center. Lamar still injured, not playing. Tomlin's going over 500. I mean,
And they might.
or he's going to get a tie and he's going to be perfect 500 this season, which would just be unbelievable.
The funniest thing is going to be we were talking about for most of the season, right? The fact that you had Buffalo, Miami, New York, and New England all potentially making a playoff spot. We might now have Miami and New England and New York all missing a playoff spot in just Buffalo. And we might end up with Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh. Now Pittsburgh needs Miami and New England both to lose and a win, as we talked about earlier. But how fucking funny would it be if Pittsburgh made the playoffs? I don't think they will. Because I think either Miami or New England probably grabs a win. Probably Miami over the Jets. I don't know, but maybe not. Maybe neither does. I mean, it's very feasible that neither does.
But hey, Tomlin could still go 500, over 500. That's all that matters.
And he could still make the
He
playoffs.
could still make the playoffs. That son of a bitch.
And they've won 3. And if they make the playoffs, they've won like 4 straight going into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's looking pretty good.
2-6 to playoffs.
2-6 to the playoffs.
Playoffs.
You bet your ass. Ravens need Lamar back bad. They need Lamar back bad.
Oh yeah. They've they dropped like 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, or something like that.
Yeah, and it used to be, Huntley could come in and he could be serviceable. He could pull out a win or something, but there's just too much tape on him now. He's getting exposed like no other. The Ravens need him back. Simple as that. They need him back.
Yeah, so Lamar was supposed to miss 2 to 3 weeks. He's now missed 5. And I think the reason that he's been held out is because the Ravens are like, okay, well, they've just been like watching the situation. They're like, we still can win the division. It's still fine. Obviously, some of that up in the air depending on what happens with the Bengals and the Bills. If that game just gets nullified, and you're going based on win percentage, that would be interesting. That's gonna I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know what happens. I don't want to speculate. The situation's too fresh to speculate on what the NFL might do about it. But I don't. I think you have to finish the Bills Bengals game at some point.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one yet.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah. Again,
because then it's what do you do? Who like where do you go? When do you play it?
It's
because then you're gonna make
too
them
right. Too soon to speculate on what to do with that. I don't know.
We'll talk about it later. We'll probably cover that on bets when we get a little bit more information coming in. Noah, you got anything else to say about what was an insane week 17 in the NFL? We only got one more of these.
Not anything that I haven't said before, but hey, fucking Team of Destiny, baby.
Well, hey,
Team
Packers
of Destiny.
Packers looking good. Cardinals and Bears are dead. I am dead inside. Shout out to the Cardinals for probably not making any moves this offseason either. With that being said, hey, we got an exciting Week 18 coming up. Don't you worry. We have all the best bets coming to you live from where we are, depending on that night. So, yeah, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss that. And then we'll be back next week with our overreactions for Week 18 and playoff outlook. Yeah, I've been the Brofict one, AJ. That's the Money Train, Noah. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.